How do? So the day started off quite normal. It would be a funny day in the job. Probably something that most prison officers wouldn't experience. Let me explain. I was always at work early. We used to get let in at 6:30. Strangeways prison, HMP Manchester, infamous for the riots, April 1990. Yeah, so you queue up outside and they built us a bus shelter. So you literally queued outside the gates. In the winter you would get piss wet through, or people would come from the car park in the cars at 6:30. But we had this little bus shelter. It was just that. It was somewhere for us to stand with protection from the weather. So I was about 12th in the queue. I was stood with Bradders, one of my managers from the healthcare. As we went in, there was a Jobsworth senior officer. So a lot of new people to the channel. Prison officer in uniform. First promotion, senior officer in uniform. Then it used to be a principal officer in uniform, and then a governor. Above senior officer has changed to and fro, put people in suits and the like. Still the same job. So the senior officer on the way in, bear in mind I'm 12th. Somebody had already said there was a bed watch out. What that meant was somebody, a prisoner, had gone out from the prison in the night, and there was staff with them now who needed relief. I am not without sympathy at all. You know, happy to help out, help your mates or whatever. However, the people in front of me had just gone straight in, so this senior officer calls me over to a little window. He says, in a very rude way, "You are going out to hospital." Yeah? 6:30 in the morning, I've queued. He's not said a word to anyone else. Told him to do one. I might have swore. Like I said, this guy was a Jobsworth. One of them managers who, you know, will ignore things that he should be pulling people for, but he'll also avoid his mates if something needs doing. Yeah, so he then gets into an argument. "I'm telling you, you're going to hospital. I'm telling you to fudge off," I said. He was a merchant banker, this guy. You know, merchant banker? You know what I mean, yeah? Anyway, I'm not having it. It's getting a bit heated now. People are watching. My mate comes in. He says to me, not him, "What's up, Sammy boy?" or something similar. I said he wants me to go out on a bed watch. He says, "Okay, I'm on an early shift, what are you on?" I says, "I'm on an early shift, which finishes at dinner time." He says, "I'll go with you." So my mate has de-escalated the situation. He said to me, you know, he's a mate, "I'll come with you, we'll do the bed watch." So the SO, you know, still ranting and the like. Anyway, that's besides the point. We just ignored him and we went. We find out where we're going and we get there. So there's two lads on we know, yeah, and they've been on all night. They've gone from the prison. They're tired and they want to get off. So my mate who de-escalated the situation has said to me, "He's not going to die, this guy, is he?" I said, "No, he's not. I know who he were. He'd come from the prison healthcare, the hospital wing. He was an older gentleman." If I say he was an older gentleman in for historical offences, you'll know what I mean. Yeah? So we get to the hospital, we does a handover. Just as we complete the handover, I looked at the guy who's going off shift, Oji. I says, "He just died." Again, I've told you he is. You know, he was an elder person, he'd had cancer or whatever. I'm not without empathy. But he says, "Yeah." But bless him, he says, "Do you want me to stop?" I says, "No, you get off." So he's off shift, I'm on shift. So I'm now responsible this death in custody. My mate looks at me and says, "You told me we weren't going to die." I said, "Look, I didn't think we were going to die." Anyway, that's besides the point. I then asked to ring the prison, yeah, because I've never been in that situation. I'm outside the prison, yeah, I'm going to just show you a bit of scenery. I'm outside the prison, yeah, dealing with a death in custody. I had no idea what to do. So I phoned the security department. In there is one Davey, he's a good lad. I told him what had happened. He says, okay, you need to wait for the police. We'll phone the police, you need to wait for the police and hand the body over, as it were. So, okay, I says. He then says, can you get a piece of paper and draw me a layout of the floor? So I says, what do you mean? He says, the hospital ward you're on, you know, there's nothing in our security file. We need to know where the exits are. I said, not being funny, Davey. He's just died. He says, I know that, but for the security file, we need a layout of the hospital floor. I says, you're taking the piss? He says, no. So I draw a layout of the hospital floor on a piece of paper, a rough sketch. Yeah? My mate now is quite bemused. He says to me, yeah, will we get off at dinner time when our shift ends? I says, hopefully. Anyway, 11:30 the police come. So we're sat outside a room. There's, you know, somebody in our custody who's died in the hospital bed. The nurses were really good. Got us bruised and toast, and obviously did what they needed to do to the body. The police come, they were two young coppers. Said to me, what do we do? I said, I don't know. So I phoned the prison up again and speak to David in security. Now listen very carefully what I'm going to tell you. This is what he said to me, this is what I'm telling you. He says, have you ever written a receipt? I says, yeah. He says, that's what you need to do. I says, what are you on about? He says, write a receipt, write the guy's name, prison number, yeah, right, I, Officer Samworth, I'm handing over prisoner whatever, prison number, to you, PC whatever and PC whatever. Get them to sign it, and then you can leave. Okay, I says. So I writes out a receipt. I says to two coppers, I need you to sign this receipt. Yeah, this says that I'm handing over the body to you. You'll have to find out from your end what you need to do. But once you sign the receipt, I'll be leaving and he's in your custody. So the coppers looked at me, you know, are you taking the pee? I says, no, I'm not. Anyway, they got in touch with their main man, whoever, and me and my mate left the building. When we got back to prison, my mate got off, straight in his car and gone. We were told we could go. I had to go to security. So I went up to security. Davey's there. I took him my little sketch of the floor. I thought he was going to take the piss. He didn't. He said, thanks. I appreciate that. He says, that'll go in a file. And I gave him the receipt and he looked at it, looked at me, says, yeah, good job there. You can go home now. And that was it. That was dealing with death in custody. It was a reasonably pleasant day. Like I said, the guy was old. He was dying anyway. It was a peaceful death. So yeah, as shifts go, that was a good shift. It didn't start too well with the knobhead telling me what to do because he, you know, he didn't know how to speak to people, but you know, I soon got over that. Job's a good one. So, thanks to everyone who supported me on Patreon. Thanks to everyone who's bought me a brew. Thanks to the community. Thanks to supporting everybody who comes on the channel, guests, past, present and future. Thank you. 3 interviews coming up. Ex-prison officer from Strangeways, where I used to work. He's worked there in the last 4 years. That'll be interesting. I've got a lot of things to ask him. He's a young lad and he didn't have the best time. Jenga, joint enterprise. I did a vlog about that on Monday. Yeah, I don't fully understand it. That law's been around in English law for a long time. But I will be interviewing, meeting a young lady who knows way more about it than me. And I shall also be interviewing an ex-drug dealer, ex-reformed addict who wants to come on the channel and, you know, but basically put a message out there about drugs. So again, thanks for your continued support. Interviews incoming, vlogs for the weekend. Thanks for coming. Al City.